Hello everybody, it's Kristen Pozel. Hey, I am sitting in my car. I hope there's not too much noise. I am in a parking lot. I just got done watching my niece, my beautiful niece, do her 8th grade graduation. I can't believe she is going into high school. It's insane. And so today what I wanted to talk about is what I would consider to be kind of a controversial subject. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit and maybe you can hear me a little bit better. So I have a theory, and this theory might make some people not so happy with me. And the theory that I have is this, and we can discuss this. The theory I have is that, oh, look at all these people coming out from this graduation. So the theory that I have is that if we're holding extra weight on our body, I have a theory that we are not in tune with our physical cues for hunger. And so what that means to me is that we are more than likely eating emotionally. And so what I mean by that is the body has an unbelievable mechanism for hunger and for satiety. So, you know, we were born and babies cry when they're hungry, and then when they're full, they stop eating. And then when they get hungry again, they cry. So there's this mechanism. So how does that baby know that it's hungry? There's physical cues for the baby. I propose that, barring any medical conditions, any known issues with hormones or anything else physiologically askew in the body, if there happens to be, I think the body knows that it regulates itself. And so truly, we should be eating when we're hungry and stopping when we're no longer hungry. And I think for many of us, many women will not necessarily listen to those cues, and or don't even know that those cues, that they're out of touch with those cues. And that is really probably one of the most fun things that I get to do with people, is teach them what physical hunger actually looks and feels like. And so the reason why I thought that this would be a controversial message is because we hear a lot about things like, well, I come from a long line of heavy people, or it's in my genes, or I've done everything and I just can't seem to lose the weight. I just can't seem to get the weight off. I would propose that there is some form of eating emotionally that's happening. Now, it doesn't have to be a sad emotion. It doesn't have to be you're trying to hide your feelings. Listen, many of us eat when we're really happy. It's a celebration. My hypothesis and my theory is that if you are truly in tune to physical hunger and you're really in touch with that, then the extra weight that's on your body is there because you are eating for some reason other than physical hunger. And what I propose is that the only true reason to eat when we're not hungry is for some sort of emotional benefit, right? So I know, Debbie, I don't know if you're on the call or not, but I know she had posted from my last Facebook Live last week about, does it always have to be, and I believe she said a negative emotion. And no, it doesn't have to be a negative emotion. Emotional eating is not always because we're sad, right? For many people, the need to eat is, I was talking to a woman the other day who was saying, I like to eat. I like to celebrate. When I'm feeling good about something, I want to celebrate. And she celebrates with food. Now, if you celebrate with food, you're going to have extra weight on your body. And so, why this is controversial is because I think so many people rest and rely on this notion of maybe, it's not in my genes, or like I said, hereditarily. So I've got a little bit of a wobbly selfie stick right here. I'm trying to have this at the right angle. I apologize if you're making me, oh, look at that, my husband's watching. I'm actually going to meet my husband in a minute for some dinner. So, do you find it controversial that I say if you have extra weight on your body, barring any sort of medical condition, right? There are hormonal conditions, there are medical conditions that basically, make it very difficult for people to lose weight. Menopause is one of those. I'm knocking on menopause's door, and it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, the hormones in the body start to shift. But my point is that if you are in touch with true physical hunger, and I think that as, I don't want to say as a society, I'm not going to make a sweeping societal, assessment, but I just think in general, food is definitely, listen, people can have issues with shopping, with sex, with gambling, with alcohol, with drugs, right? We all use something. I mean, some people are addicted to TV. Isn't that crazy? But we all use something that possibly could be something for us to escape. And if you're using food, then that's the issue to look at. So if there is an issue where, it's, I don't know why, I hear a lot of times, I don't know why I can't lose this weight. And if I were to sit with you for a day and just ask you every time you went to go grab for something if you were hungry, and maybe this is just a great exercise, ask yourself the next time you go to reach for something, am I hungry? Now, I'm gonna guess if you've not done that before, you might not even know the answer to that question. And so that would be something really interesting for you to consider. So, am I hungry? Well, what does that actually feel like? And we talked a little bit about that. So I wanted to just hear, and I think it's hysterical that my husband and my sister are on this call because I just left them and we're all going out to dinner in a couple minutes. But I just wanted to hear, are there any yeah buts? I don't know if I believe you. I really do come from a long line of heavy people. I am big boned. And listen, I'm not saying that's not a valid reason. I'm just saying that shouldn't be your excuse for not taking on, am I truly hungry? Like, am I really hungry right now? When was the last time I ate? How much did I eat? Oh, yeah, it is about time. I should be hungry. Or, well, I just had a hamburger, so why would I be reaching for a piece of chocolate cake? And I was with a friend the other day, and I won't rat her out. For sure not going to rat her out, but she knows that I love her unconditionally, and she would completely support me sharing this. But she said, what did she say to me? I was at her house and she goes, oh, try this pizza. And I was like, ugh, I'm not hungry. She was like, but just try it. Just try it. I was like, well, I can try it later, like when I'm actually hungry. But I checked and I wasn't hungry. So I said, no, I'm not gonna try that. She goes, but what about just a nibble? So if I were to accommodate that every time that something came across my plate, or I walked into a party and there was all this food there, if I'm eating when I'm not hungry, I'm telling you, that is, I'm going to assert that is 85% of the problem. If you have extra weight on your body, I know that when I am out of touch and out of tune, or I get really busy, or I feel really stressed, I'm completely out of touch with my hunger. And I also know that when I'm stressed, I will use food. So I will eat, and then I will not be hungry. And then I will say, I really want something right now, right? And so it's something like it's a reward for, well, I've been really busy, and so I want this little treat for myself. Now, if I were to just sit and say, okay, what is it that I'm really feeling and what is it that I really need? Maybe I just need to sit down and take a break. Maybe I just need to check in with myself and, do something that's actually fun and not work. For me, I'm an overworker, and it's one of those things that I have to manage. And so if you have any thoughts or comments about what I'm saying, that if we have extra weight on our body, it's because we're out of tune with our physical hunger, and that if you have extra weight on your body, I'm asserting that you're probably eating for an emotional reason. And that doesn't, like I said, it doesn't need to be a negative emotion, but it could be an emotional reason. And if you were to look and stop before you actually picked up that next thing to eat, you would probably, if you asked yourself, am I hungry? I'm going to assert that the answer is no. If you continue to eat after the answer is no, your body's going to put on extra weight. So I just wanted to get in here and talk about this thing that I find, it makes me a little bit nervous when I, just the thought of saying, okay, well, hereditary aside, physiological, medical, actual physical issues aside, I truly believe, and I theorize that if there's extra weight on the body, you're eating, and because if you're eating outside of what your body actually needs, and you're out of touch with that, and you're eating past hunger or past fullness, and you're eating when you are hungry, or I'm sorry, when you're eating when you're full, there's an emotional reason for that. So I would love to hear your thoughts. Please post, please let me know. If I've offended you, I'm okay with that, because I want to start this conversation with people. I really think it's important that we stop doing this thing called, I gotta lose weight, so I'm gonna go on a diet, because that will never work. Why are you eating? How are you eating? And what is your mindset? What's your emotional state when you're making these choices to put food into your body if you're not hungry? All right, so I just wanted to pop in here. Please leave me your thoughts. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next week. Bye.